Good evening, this is Leona Graham. Francis Rossi is going on tour next year. It's called An Evening of Francis Rossi's Songs from the Status Quo Songbook and More, a brand new show for 2025. I'll be talking to him about that, amongst other things, and I asked him some of your questions as well. I'm going to dive straight in with a couple of your questions, starting with a very important topic, denim.
Absolute classic rock.
Neil.
Hello, Neil.
He would like to know, have you ever done triple denim? I mean, I've got double denim on stay.
Of course I have, yeah. No, I haven't. I would wear the jeans and a waistcoat because when we used to have a thing with Levi, and Rick and I were doing a TV somewhere a good many years ago talking about that picture or this promo and said, what did you guys get paid for that? And then we suddenly just looked at each other and realised somebody must have got paid. We got a roll of denim each. I said, truly. And so I had a denim waistcoat made and some denim trousers or jeans that I like with pockets, somewhat like Dickies work there. And Alan Lancaster Eden had denim shoes, so I think he may have been the first in triple denim. Although I did have denim jacket, denim waistcoat, denim. It's just a modern term. Hey, triple denim, how stupid or wonderful, depending where you are.
Oh, well, I love it.
Good.
So I'm a fan. And Mike says, what's your take on the concert ticket malarkey that's going on?
I think it's disgraceful if it is going on, and I'm aware that it's been going on with a particular band, and I was very taken with their whole thing at present, that the idea when they split up, the whole thing, I'm never sure if the brothers hate themselves that much, hate each other that much, and I thought such a fantastic move, the way it's coming, the timing of the announcement was perfect, in a quiet period of news, all these things that make for great show business. And if they're complicit in that whole idea, then I'd like to believe they're not, but I assume it's a terrible business ploy, which isn't very nice. And one likes to think, I know most people don't do it, and I believe there is an option, or I'm told there's an option at certain times. So I don't think it's very nice.
Status Quo rocking all over the world. My special guest tonight is Francis Rossi, who's going on tour next year. We'll hear about that tour in a little while. But first of all, I wanted to ask him about how the song Down Down came about.
Absolute classic rock.
Yeah, we were in Los Angeles, and I was very much... I'd already began to be this sort of isolated. I don't really want to go anywhere, really. I sat in this room, and I was wrestling around with a G-tuning and putting a cap on the guitar. Anybody that knows what it does. And I'd started strumming and got the intro piece and then got the verse melody. And then many months later, or maybe years later, I realised that the verse melody is the same as the intro to Match It. And I wrote the song and got the melody lovely. And then Bob came home and we got the lyric, I want all the world to see you laughing, and you're laughing at me. I can take it all from you again. And we go on to the second verse and did the second verse. I found you. And the third verse. And I kept going again, and we left it that night and finished something else, and we came back the following night. And I went through it again. He said, well, what about Down Down? I said, what do you mean, what about Down Down? And I'd said to him, we need something when we get again, it needs something like that. And I said, Dabbery, like that. And that's when he said, what about Down Down? Down, I said, yeah, it's rather good, isn't it? And I said, what does it mean? He said, I don't know. I said, me either. And so I still don't really know what it meant. And it doesn't mean what people some years later thought it meant, which is that it needed to be...
It just got in the groove. It just fitted.
Yeah. And it works. Down, down, diddle-dee, down, down, diddle-dee. It's like nursery rhymes and such.
Status Quo, Down, Down. My special guest tonight is Francis Rossi of Status Quo. And I asked him what sort of stuff did he get up to behind the scenes on Top of the Pops.
Absolute classic rock.
We'd bring in curries usually. And I don't mean the thingy shop, I mean curries, food. And we had this thing where we'd leave them, if we could try and get the same dressing room, and there were these panels, those ceilings where you could just push the panel up, and we'd put various curries up there, and obviously one of us would get a fish curry and leave that up. And I would love to have been there when they demolished the place, because they must have gone, that room there stinks.
That is terrible.
All down to us. Thank you very much. I take the credit.
That's your version of throwing a TV out the hotel window, is it?
No, I never believed any of that, because I was always aware that in the morning the hotel didn't go, bye guys, lovely to see you all, thanks for wrecking the place. No, you were there with a checkbook. That's with television. He ruined the sofa. He ruined a couple of arts in there. He smashed up half the bar. That's just cost you £4,500. And
the reality is not quite as rock and roll.
No,
then.
But that is a rock and roll myth. Or when people say, I remember being asked at Wembley Stadium what's on your rider? I said, whatever we want. She said, oh. And there's this myth again that you just ask for this stuff and it's all free. You can have what you want in your dressing room, but you pay for it. It's not a freebie.
Yeah.
There are no freebies. But because of the myths of rock and roll, is that it's all free of charge. There is no free lunch, as they say.
This is Quo Caroline on Absolute Classic Rock. This is Leona. Hope you're enjoying all these Quo songs, and my special guest is Francis Rossi. I asked him how the song In the Army Now came about.
Absolute Classic Rock.
I was in Ireland with Bernadette's mother, my first daughter. And I was in Ireland having a 3-week break, and there used to be this radio show called Casey Kasem, I think his name was. And I happened to hear this song In the Army, which was written by 2 Dutch guys called Bolland and Bolland from Holland. It's true, it's their names. And I just thought, wow, it's going to be huge, that record. And then it didn't appear anywhere. And so I asked Elizabeth to get me a version, a copy, and I went to the band with it, and nobody was interested in it. And it was one of those songs to me that was going to be huge or a stiffy. So either way round, it's you score. And then when we reformed, dear me, I think it was painful for a moment. Now I'm over it. And when we reformed, I said to Rick, we're going to do this. And he said, I'll do whatever you want. And I went to the record company at the time. There's a guy at a record company called David Simone. He really didn't want to put it out. And no, somebody else didn't want to put it out. And David Simone called me to a meeting. And he was that taken that I believed in that well, that they put it out, and it was a huge, huge hit. And but as I said, it was either a massive hit.
Yeah.
It's like a Marmite hit again.
Yeah.
Like Status Quo, you either love it or you just can't bear it.
Status Quo, In the Army Now, and great to hear about the story behind that song. Amongst many other stories on this show this evening, been speaking to Francis Rossi, and I asked him about the tour next year.
Absolute Classic Rock.
Brand new show for 2025, and it's a 34-date tour from April to June, and tickets are on sale now.
Apparently. Well, and now.
And now. And is there anything else you want to add about the tour? Anything that, you know,
No,
think
I
we
hope
should
to
look
enjoy
forward
it.
to?
I hope as many people can come along as possible, but that's what I'm here to do, I suppose. I can't tell them it's going to be the most fantastic night they've ever had. I don't know until we do it.
And in terms of the music, would you play Status Quo songs, and what else?
Well, they are the songs that I wrote with Status Quo.
Do you have the set list planned for that, or is it a bit...
Some of it is planned. It's now being added to, and I'm going to work on it and so on.
What's your opening song?
Matchstick Man, I would think.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense, you see.
Starting with the early one. Okay, and what's the closing song?
What we always open with on the Status Quo show. You don't know, do
Rockin'
you?
All Over the World?
No, I would be open with
Caroline?
that. No, yes.
See?
But it's a different version of Caroline,
Okay.
so it's quite good.
Status Quo down the dust pipe. It's been great to chat to Francis Rossi of Quo this evening. Look out for his tour. Tickets are on sale now. It's called An Evening of Francis Rossi's Songs from the Status Quo Songbook and More. A brand new show for 2025. A 34-date tour around the UK from April to June next year. Details on absoluteradio.co.uk/tickets.